Hello again, everybody. I'm Jeff Burr with the Tattooed Spirit. Now, before we get started on the next card, I wanted to just make sure that you're not thinking to yourself, Jeff, this is all great, this is really cool, but how do I do a reading with what you're telling me? You just got to trust me on this, guys. You just got to trust me. After 2 decades of learning these cards in the wrong way, this is the way that you'll want to absorb and begin to have these new associations whenever these images come up for you. You don't want me to be getting into when this card comes up here, then this is what it means unless it comes here, and then there's another card here. Because whenever you get the basics of what we're talking about here, it's going to come naturally. And I'm going to give you a second to just digest and take a deep breath, because we're going to be getting into one particular situation where you can hold 2 cards right next to each other and begin to see how you're going to be seeing the cards in the future by how similar imagery of 2 different cards begin to tell a little bit of a story. Okay? So here you are. You're born into the world. You have these worldly influences. You're the co-creator of your experience, bringing that which you knew before into experience in the 3rd dimension. It's the stillness and quiet where you gain inner insight and inner wisdom to bring to your experience. The softness and compassion of the divine feminine and Mother Nature affects you in a positive way to bring in that softness into your life. Just like the rigidness of how important rules of society can be. Look at that stone rigid throne and the suit of armor. This is a great card. And when you're not exactly finding your own groove in life, this card will very well serve you. It'll serve you well, is better said, to be more consistent and stern with a routine or ritual to move forward. Very important. We're going to keep on reviewing all these cards. Now we get to this card here. I call it the Hierophant. You can see that now we're dealing with something. I'll hold it a little bit further closer to you. This is a great card, and it affects most of us in a way that I'm sure that we're not even aware of. Even after I explain it, the power of this card, its influence and what it represents into the world. It's about those 2 pillars that we recognized from back here. The 2 pillars of right and wrong, where once it was covered by this beautiful divine veil, where it was up to you to sit in silence, to just absorb what the inner and deeper truth was behind it. Now the veil is removed, and we have a character. It's like a pope or some sort of religious looking guy figure there. That means this card is a representative to not question, but to just understand that in the relationship to how we're asking and what we're inquiring about with this particular spread that you happen to be pulling, it is for us to be questioning those that have given us the doctrine to believe in faith. And although much of that has served us and continues to serve us, a lot of us find a big stopping point whenever, and this, by the way, this has nothing to do with religion. I'm not slamming any sort of religion or anything like that. This card only has to do with questioning that which was told to us to believe, and to believe on faith itself. Which is why there's a man blocking the wisdom as if there was some sort of authority or some sort of favor to be gained by getting this secret information that is now behind this, what used to be the veil, okay? Guarded by this character. This is a very important card, and you'll notice it by the right hand of this character. If you can't see it, it's about like this, where it's 2 fingers up and 2 fingers are below. We're going to get this to another card in a couple lines, which will make a lot of sense. And the message of this particular character, the lesson to be absorbed in life, is that, and the most valuable thing that we can be given on faith, is that the things that we can see in this world, with the 2 fingers with our palm open like this character, those are just as real and valid as the things that we can't see. This begins our journey into the unknown, our unseen, the quantum world, the divine world of just not the lessons from society and what we can feel about our feelings and passion. That about in the universe, there are things that are seen and unseen that are just as valid as each other. And so you can, I hopefully, get the understanding that with this card, it's about what we have been taught by others to believe about the world. Okay? We have the ability to co-create our life with the divine. We have knowledge and inspiration from the things that we can't see. We have this wonderful avenue of getting knowledge from just looking at the world around us and the feelings of compassion and passion. Structured by the society, the rules of society. Now we have the idea of us being taught something of, it may serve us or not, of the world around us that we can't see. And this is about our educational systems. When this card comes up, this is about possibly understanding that the situation that we are experiencing is about what we have been taught to expect. And perhaps we should question that. The idea that we aren't really thinking uniquely to ourselves because it's about the character that has given us this information that may be having more sway than our own unique thinking. Which is why I also put the dot before and after on this Hierophant character, that whenever you reverse it, it brings in that hidden quality of unique thought. This is thought and education and belief systems that were told to you to be believed by another, the one guarding wisdom that only they have access to, into you now, bringing in the unique thinking, your unique perspective and your experience based on your knowledge to form a new kind of way of being for yourself. So both of these cards are great, but now you know that whenever you see it reversed, it means more of unique thinking, that your particular patternings of actions, doing, thoughts, and feelings might be serving you just as it might be serving you well to be believing what you should be feeling or thinking or doing by another, some sort of authority figure. This is not about church slamming, any sort of doctrine or anything like that, but it's the card of other people's beliefs, okay? So stick that in your hat and smoke it, because next we get into how we can really learn about ourselves by bringing in somebody else. I'll see you in just a second.